despair, emotional conditions, that which is aware of conditions is not a condition. And so, just for convenience, we call it the Bhutto, and that's the refuge, and the position we are taking now during this retreat, being this awareness, rather than trying to be somebody who's getting somewhere in their meditation practice. So I'll just offer this as a reflection, and there will be time for discussions in the future. But I know this, this is many sometimes very difficult to understand, because it's going against the whole conditioning process of any culture. It's trying to, it's really, I see in my life how that, going against the stream of the world, of the assumptions of an ignorant society. And I find this even more so now, living in Europe, where it has stable government and even, the economy crash has not really affected us in the monastery. We wouldn't even know there's a problem. Like that. People come and tell us. But but anyway, it is in terms of worldly conditions, it's a very nice country to live in, well run, fairly good economy. In the past, now maybe it's a bit having problems, but probably will, who knows what's going to happen. But even at best of times, the world is changing, society, we can see wherever we go now, there's this incredible migration of peoples, immigration, people moving from one place to another, world population, pollution, and all the doomsday predictions that are prevalent at this time. So it is a time where there is a lot of change and uncontrollable things that we we can worry about. But what we can do is cultivate this awareness, which will allow us to deal with what the conditions of the places we're living in, with the experiences that we have. We can do the chant before we dismiss.
May I abide in well-being, in freedom from affliction, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may I maintain well-being in myself. May everyone abide in well-being, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may they maintain well-being in themselves. May all beings be released from all suffering, and may they not be parted from the good fortune they have attained. When they act upon intention, all beings are the owners of their actions, and inherit its results. Their future is born from such action, companion to such action, and its results will be their own. All actions with intention, be they skillful
We present these Sangha gifts of ours to the Bhikkhu Sangha. May the Bhikkhu Sangha accept these Sangha gifts for long-term welfare and happiness.
All our merits, all our good actions be of benefit to you all, and may all sentient beings be free from suffering. Yathavadi vaha pura paripurinti sakarang
ตาติยังปิมันยังพันเตวิสุงลักขณกถายะปิสรเนนะสหปัญจศีลานิยาจามะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโต
สัจจาปารมีสัมปันโนสัจจาอุปาปารมีสัมปันโนสัจจาปรมาตถปารมีสัมปันโนเมตตาไมตรีกรุณามุทิตาอุเบกขาบารมีสัมปันโนอิติปิโสภะคะวา
อยู่เมืองอังกฤษเป็นประจำเป็น30 กว่าปีแล้วแต่เคยบวชในเมืองไทยปี2519ที่หนองคายปฏิบัติที่นั่นแล้วก็ไปอยู่กับหลวงพ่อชา10 กว่าปีแล้วก็มีความสนใจในคำสอนของท่านเป็นหลายปีก่อนที่จะมาลงค่ายสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะอิการตังอิ ตายะสุขายะซึ่งภัตตาหารกับของที่เป็นบริวารทั้งหลายเหล่านี้แก่ข้าพเจ้าทั้งหลายสิ้นกาลและนานเทิน
เมตตาปารมีสัมปันโนเมตตาปุปาปารมีสัมปันโนเมตตาปรมาตปารมีสัมปันโนเมตตาไมตรีกรุณามุทิตาอุเบกขาบารมีสัมปันโนอิติปิโสภะคะวาอุเบกขาบารมีสัมปันโนอุเบกขาปุปาปารมีสัมปันโนอุเบกขาปรมาตปารมีสัมปันโนเมตตาไมตรีกรุณามุทิตาอุเบกขาบารมีสัมปันโนอิติปิโสภะคะวาตัสสะปารมีสัมปันโนตัสสะอุปปารมีสัมปันโนตัสสะปรมาตปารมีสัมปันโน
สัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะมะเอสิโนนะโมธัมมะธัมมาสสวากาตัสเสวะเตนิธานะโมมหาสังฆาสาภิวิสุทธัสสีลดิติโนนะโมโอมาติยาราตาสัตตนาติยาสสาธุกังนะโมโอมกาติตาสตาสวาตุตยาสปินนะโมการะปปาเวนะวิกัจจันตุปันโนวานะโมการะนุภาเวนะสุวัตติโหตุสัมปันตานะโมการะสเตเจนะวิริงิโอมิเตโชวาเสวนาจะมาลานังปันปิตานังจะเสวนาพุทธาจะพุทธนิยานังเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังปฏิรูปเดสวาโสจะภูเมจะกัตตปุณิยธาตัสสัมมาปณิทิจาเอตัมมังกลมุตตมังบาหุสัจจันจะสิปัญจะวินัยโยจะสุสี กิโตสุภาสิตาจยาวาจาเอตัมมังคลังอุตตมังมาตาปิตุปาทานังพุทธดารัสสะสังฆโหนะกุลาจกัมมันตาเอตัมมังคลังอุตตมังดานังจะธัมมจาริยาชญาตกานังจะสังฆโหอันตวัญจานิกามานิเอตัมมังคลังอุตตมังอารติวิรติปาปามาจปานาจะสัญญโมหะปมาโดจะดัมเมสุเอตัมมังคลังอุตตมังการโหจะนิวาโดจะสันตุติจะกตังยุตากาเลนะธัมมาสวนาเอตัมมังคลังอุตตมังขันติจะโสวัชชาสตาสัมมนานันจะดัสสนังกาเลนะธัมมาสังฆาจาเอตัมมังคลังอุตตมังตัปโปจะพระมจาริยาจะอริยสัจจานันดัสสนังนิบานะสัจจิกิริยาจะเอตัมมังคลังอุตตมังพุทธัสสะโลกธัมเมหิจิตตังยัสสนะคัมปติลโสกังเวจังเทมังเอตัมมังคลังอุตตมังเอตาดิสานิคัตตวานุสัมมาธัมมปราจิตตาสัมปัฏฐโสติกาตันติตันเตสัมมังคลังอุตตมังติ
We call it the inauguration because it's not a blessing of the Buddha image, because the Buddha is the Blessed One. We cannot bless the Buddha even more. It is though rejoicing that the Buddha, it is the power of the Barometers of the Buddha that all this can happen. And so this is the Buddha's barometers, the Buddha's blessings that has touched your lives so much that each and every one of you have given and helped and assisted to make this physical center available for the teaching of Dhamma. And that is great merit. The physical establishment of a vihara is one of the physical things which gives the greatest merit in the world. If we offer dana of a meal, it only lasts for 24 hours. The robes last for a number of years. Medicines for the period of the illness. But a physical building lasts for many hundreds of years, even thousands of years. And so hopefully this physical structure will serve Buddhism now and into the future for many hundreds and thousands of years. And that is our hope and wish, and having made such a beautiful structure and a very practical building for the practice of chanting, meditation, teaching, accommodation for Sangha, and teaching of the Sunday school, Buddhist classes, etc., etc. You certainly have now all the facilities that is needed. So we have the buildings, and that has taken immense amount of dedication and work and self-sacrifice. And that self-sacrifice is extremely important. It's when we put away our own time, our own desires, and give up as an offering to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. We put down our own wishes and we offer it as a Buddha Puja, Dhamma Puja and Sangha Puja. So I hope that all of you who have offered any assistance or time or energy, however much or however little, to the inauguration of this beautiful Buddhist Center, will offer it in your hearts as an offering out of respect to the Buddha, out of respect for the Dhamma and respect for the Sangha. This is for the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. It is not for us. It's to be used by us to realize the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. And this structure is a place for us now to use for creating what we call viharatham, which means like a temple in the heart, a physical abiding in the heart, or physical abiding in the Dhamma. Vihara means physical building or structure. Dhamma means truth, so to abide in truth, to find an abiding within yourself that is based in truth. And that is the hard part. My teacher Ajahn Chah said it's very easy building monasteries and Buddhist centers. Even though it's been very hard for you, I hear you took 9 years. That's the easy part. The hard part now begins. And that may take 9 lifetimes or even longer. Hopefully it will be completed in a very short time. But the transformation of us, this body and mind, and realizing Dhamma is what this building is for. So it's the people who come into this building. Because even if this building cost 10 billion ringgits, it will never get enlightened. It doesn't matter how many hours the monks will give Dhamma talks for, this physical building will not get enlightened. But it is the chittas, the minds of all the beings, all the people who come into this building that can know the Dhamma, that can realize enlightenment. So the real essence of this Buddhist Center is the people who come into it, the people who visit it, the people who come to practice and study, work and help out here, and help to run this center. It is their minds and hearts which is the essence of this place, which makes it a Buddhist center. And when we focus on that, then we can then focus on what's essential, and that is the teaching of the true Dhamma. We have, as Theravada Buddhists, the great good fortune of having the Tripitaka as our map, beautiful in the beginning, beautiful in the middle, and beautiful in the end, the Buddha said, is those teachings. So we have this wonderful dispensation of the Buddha, which has been handed down to us over the centuries by the Sangha. And we can study the Dhamma Vinaya of the Buddhas and become knowledgeable and comprehend the path. But it is only when we practice and apply those teachings in our daily life that we taste the flavor of Dhamma. And it is obvious that the big turnout today shows that many people have tasted the flavor of Dhamma to various degrees in their lives. And that is why you're here. We're all here. Because it has had a profound effect on each and every one of us. And we see the great benefits, not only for ourselves, but for our families and children, and for society, and for the well-being of all beings in this universe. And so the most important thing is that we use this place and these facilities that everyone has given to as best as possible. And I always recommend, and so this is going to be my motto that I hand over to all of you. Always try to make this place a better place, more neater, more tidier, more better, more wholesome, more beneficial than when you arrived. So when you come, it is already a good place, but when you leave, make sure you've made it a better place. So when you come, we have these wonderful facilities. Don't look at those wonderful facilities as belonging to somebody else. Each one of you have a responsibility to give something and make this a better place after you leave than it was before you arrived. And if we all add something to these facilities, to this center, we all come and practice. And sometimes the way of adding to the place is nothing material. Sometimes it's just adding to the purity. For example, coming to keep the precepts here and taking them home with you. Coming and giving to the silence. That is when you come, being very mindful and maybe adding not to the talking here, but to the stillness. Or even coming to do something very practical. If you go into the bathroom and it's a mess, make sure you leave it better than when you entered. Neater, tidier, cleaner. This is how we're trained as monks when we live in a monastery. The teachers would tell us when we go to a monastery, we have to leave our hut, our room, our bathroom, cleaner, neater, tidier. We have to leave the group of monks, the society, the community we've lived in a better state, in a happier condition than it was before. So you have to become a person who comes to this center and everyone is happy to see you and sad when you leave. Do not be a person who comes here that people are sad when you arrive and happy when you leave. And this is actually where giving this, one of the rooms I was looking through, you have named each of the room after the 10 Barometers. One of the rooms I stopped at was the Nekakamma Barometer room, which means Renunciation Barometer room. There was no one going in there. It's one of the toughest rooms to enter. It means great sacrifice, renouncing. And when we come to this place, we can renounce and give. Renounce and give something to the material support of the center. Renounce and give something to the service of receiving people, helping people, instructing and guiding people, or just even by giving a smile, or even giving an example through your peaceful practice of meditation here. That is a way you can give and serve the Buddhist community. Serving the Buddhist community doesn't mean necessarily teaching by verbal dispensation, but just being an example for others through your chanting, through your dedication, through meditation, through the wisdom that you apply in your family life and in your lay life. This is all something we can give to each other and give to this community. And so now the work of sustaining the community in a harmonious, skillful, beneficial way is something that the monks now hand over to you. We have come and taken part in this Buddha inauguration ceremony and witnessed the opening of this very wonderful building, this wonderful structure, and now you have the hard work of walking the path that the Buddha laid down, applying that practice in one's daily life. And if one does that, one sees the benefits for oneself. One will know the taste of Dhamma. As you make your mind more peaceful and more happy, then you experience more contentment and more ease, and you can give that happiness to others. Because if we are not happy within ourselves, we cannot give happiness to others. We have to allow and give happiness to this mind, peace and quietness to this mind, and then we can give that. We have something to share with others. So on this very wonderful and very auspicious occasion, you are very blessed with all the great blessings. Today we did the chanting of not just the 38 blessings, we did 76 blessings. We did the Mangala Sutta twice for you. So you are reflecting on all the great blessings twice over. Many great blessings. And the greatest blessing is having heard the Dhamma, the true Dhamma in this lifetime. To have come across the Buddha's teachings in this lifetime, on this occasion, we now must pick up the jewel and look after that jewel. And that is the triple jewel. The refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha is a supreme jewel that has been handed down to us. And we have received that inheritance from the Buddha. Now we need to protect and look after that jewel. So please, when you come to the Buddhist Center and you take the 5 precepts today, don't leave them at the front door. Take them home with you. When people come to my monastery in Thailand, they often ask for the 5 precepts. And I tell them, go and pick them up at the front gate. Because when people often leave the monastery, they leave the precepts there at the front gate of the monastery. Now there's a big pile of precepts because people don't take them home with them. So please take those precepts home, take the triple gem home and protect it and look after those great blessings in our lives. To have heard the true Dhamma, to have heard the 4 Noble Truths and to know the Noble Eightfold Path, that is a supreme blessing. And all of you are supremely blessed to live in this country, to live in this society, to have a Buddhist center like this, which has taken so much work and effort. And now we need to protect that and look after it so it grows. So this is a delicate tree you have planted here. So please water it, nurture it, and allow it to grow and produce flower and fruit.
Brahmaja lokadipati sahampati Katanjali adivarangaya chatta สันดิตาสัตตาปราจาคาจติกาเดสิตุดังมังอนุกัมปิมันปัจจัง
นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะพุทธังธัมมังสังฆังนะมัสสามิ So I'm very pleased to have this opportunity to attend this very auspicious day in this very grand Buddhist Center. To see my respects to all the Sangha members assembled here, and to all of you who have this interest in the teaching practice of Lord Buddha. And of course, this is a very impressive building, and to see the interest in Buddha Dhamma growing in Malaya like this is, I never expected to see anything so impressive, actually. But the interest in Dhamma is something that I think is in the past 50 years has increased all over the world. And the word Dhamma, of course, is a significant word because in English we don't have any really exact equivalent to it. And it's a Pali word, and it means best translated as the truth of the way it is. It's not about some kind of abstract truth or some esoteric teaching of any sort. So the whole point of the Buddhist teaching is awakening human individuals to Dhamma, to truth, or to reality. And so talking like this, and sometimes in the West, where I live in England, they, people, well, what is the reality? Because they want me to tell them. And of course, the Buddha's invitation is